Good evening, I'm Duke Root, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Nebraska defensive coordinator Tony White met with the media yesterday after practice. White is in his second season as the head of the Black Shirts and was asked about how much his squad has improved since last year.
I asked the defensive staff, I was like, man, are we any good? Like, I don't know right now, if we're any good. And they're like, Coach, we're doing stuff now that we were doing at the end of the season last year. So it's not even close in that regards. But Coach Rule said it best, it's not necessarily what you do, it's how you do it. So how are we running to the ball? How are we taking on blocks? How are we tackling? Those are the things that necessarily now, instead of teaching it, you're just holding the standard right there, and showing them every day. And so I think it's turned away from the X's and O's part of it, even though we're installing still in the plays, but it's now more so of how we do things and making sure every single guy that takes that field and lines up and understands that there is a way we are going to play defensive football here, period.
Coming up on the show, we will hear more from Tony White's press conference. 5 members of the Nebraska volleyball team have been selected to the U.S. U21 Women's National Team. Lainey Choboy, Andy Jackson, Olivia Mock, Harper Murray, and Bergen Riley were among the 20 players named to the team. Nebraska assistant coach Jalen Reyes is also an assistant coach for the team as well. In the NFL today, the Houston Texans acquired star wide receiver Stephon Diggs from the Buffalo Bills in exchange for a second-round pick. Diggs caps off a stellar offseason for the Texans as they look to build around second-year quarterback C.J. Stroud. 9 games in the NBA tonight, including Thunder at Celtics, Grizzlies versus the Bucks, Pelicans hosting the Magic, and the Cavs against the Suns. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 1 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Lifted to right, and drifting over near the line is Williams, and looking up, and it is gone. Wind blows it right out of here. It's a grand slam for Will Walsh. It's 5-0 Big Red.
With Ravel as Andrews swings and lifts it right field and deep. Riono going back to the wall. It's gone. Home run, Billy Andrews. And that's the new record. She is the all-time home run queen at the University of Nebraska.
Now the 2-2 from Sears. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 will end the 8th inning for Brett Sears, and he has gone 8 innings here on a Saturday afternoon.
The pitch from Chambers. Cope golfs one to center and deep. Going back Delgadillo, and it's gone! 3-run home run, Emerson Cope. Make it 5-2 Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Some nights I know how I'm going to start the show, and then I hear the guys do the ticker, and I'm like, well, I got to talk about that. How about 5 Husker volleyball players going to the U21 tryouts, and only 20 get invited? 25% of them are going to be Husker players.
It's unbelievable. I just go back to the conversation I had with Jordan Larson right when she got here after playing with Team USA, and she had talked about developing the next generation, and that she thinks a lot of the Huskers are going to be playing for Team USA. So, obviously it's starting early, coming to fruition. But we've seen that. how many years do we see them going? But I don't know if this many. This might be a record. But I think that's what makes it really fun about continuing to watch Team USA in the future is that a lot of these players
will be in the Olympics.
Are going to continue to be teammates together wearing the red, white, and blue.
And good for Olivia Mock. Right out of high school, came a semester early. She's been here for a couple of months. She got to play in beach. She got invited to this thing. That's awesome for her and obviously for everybody else on that. But that's pretty cool. And yesterday, one more quick volleyball note before we jump into the rest of the show. They sold out the match with Denver and Kearney coming up May 4th in 46 minutes. Over 5,000 tickets sold in 46 minutes. They were standing outside around the building. They're going to play that at the UNK's arena on the UNK campus. Should be a lot of fun. We'll have the broadcast for you here on the HRN on May the 4th. All right, Husker football practice, nothing today. We're going to go back a day and It's because I like to hear Coach White talk. So we're going to play some of his clips coming up here in a little bit. And then we're going to have kind of a defensive show because Jessica had a chance to catch up with Nash coming off of his wrestling season and now transitioning back to football, and Malcolm Hartzog, who played quite a bit a year ago for the Big Red, and I know a lot of expectations for him. We'll hear from both of those guys coming up later on in the program. And Husker Women's Gymnastics takes part in the NCAA Regional in Fayetteville tomorrow. We'll give you a preview. We'll hear from a couple of those women's gymnastics athletes coming up in hour number 2. Well, since we talked on Monday night, I guess it was Monday night, yeah, another Husker in the portal, Matar Diop, and
it's almost like comical at this point.
You got to explain this one to me.
I don't know. I mean, because the thing is with Matar, unless it's something where he wants to go play somewhere like an area, specific area, get closer to somebody. But he's someone that from the start, when he was signed, had the raw athleticism, certainly saw flashes, but he was going to be a developmental player. So he's still that. We saw him improve a lot over the last year. And that's what this coaching staff is great at, is that development part of it. And Kurt Joseph doesn't get enough credit either, but look what he was able to do with Bryce McGowan's. I think Matar probably needs to put on some weight. And so, in terms of this is a developmental player that probably, unless he's going, I don't know, I mean, it's not like he's going to go to somewhere equal and get more playing time, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. I don't think so.
I don't either.
Because I think he's still a work in progress. He has a tremendous upside, which we've heard this coaching staff say all year long. But it's not like he's, at this moment in time, ready for really big minutes and a really big role. It's still a growth process.
Fred Hoiberg, in one of our last radio shows with him, was asked, who's the most improved guy on your team? And he said it's Matar. So he recognized that. I know that they passed that on to him. They picked their spots when to play him. He did not play a lot in league play, and he just physically wasn't really ready to battle Big Ten big guys yet. He's added weight, he's added muscle, he's added skill to his game. All that has gone up. So that was kind of surprising. Now, we also told you on Monday, we had Robin Washington of HuskerOnline.com, and he was talking about how Coach Hoiberg was going to be out and about. He has been out and about. 2 nights ago, Coach was up in Fargo visiting Andrew Morgan from North Dakota State. That ring a bell? Sam Griesel. Andrew was second team All-Summit, 6'10", big guy, averaged 13 points per game. It's down to 2 schools. It's the Huskers and the Gophers. He is from Minnesota, so they might have a bit of a home field advantage, but Andrew has told several media outlets, including Robin, he goes, Sam Griesel raves about the Husker program. In fact, Andrew is, a couple of outlets are reporting, is here today. He's on campus now. We may get a decision out of him soon. So keep your fingers crossed. That would be your big. That would be your Josiah Alec replacement there if that happens. Last night, Coach Hoiberg was in Peoria, Illinois, visiting Connor Hickman. Played at Bradley. Another ding, 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 ding. Rink Mass played at Bradley. So Connor played the last couple of years with Rink. He was third team Missouri Valley, 6'3" shooting guard, 40% three-point shooter, averaged 14 points per game. He's also had in-home visits from Indiana and Cincinnati. So a Big 12 school and another Big 10 school looking at Connor Hickman. So the Huskers staff, we've been hearing all the bad news, people leaving. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of something about, okay, we're in on some guys that at least have us down in their final couple teams.
And at this point, too, just because of the craziness of all of it, I think it's really important to have those guys that already can speak about the program, because they're hearing the spiel everywhere they go, but that, the guy from Bradley can talk to Rink, yep. And the ties, Sam Griesel, he's going to sell this program. So having those relationship with guys that they've played with, that have been teammates with, that can, champion this program, that can put their mark of approval on this program is absolutely huge when you're recruiting these guys, because they're getting
bombarded.
It is unbelievable how
1,300 names.
Like, I was talking to one of the coaches that said that they made a call into one of the players, and they were like, "Hey, I need a couple of days." It's just like, it's that overwhelming once they hit the portal, because the players that can come in and make immediate impacts are just, everybody wants them, right? So
just crazy.
I wish there was a way to get a handle on it.
I don't like it. I don't think it's healthy, but it is what it is, and you got to deal with it. And kind of like we're not all loving the NIL, but it is what it is, and you got to accept it and go on, or you're going to get left in the dust in this whole thing. So those are two names: Andrew Morgan, North Dakota State big, and Connor Hickman, a shooting guard from Bradley. And I love the fact that there is a connection there, one with Sam Griesel at North Dakota State, and then obviously Rink from Bradley. And that's got to be helpful, particularly with Rink still on the team. Rink hasn't made an announcement yet that he's back or going. So currently Rink is on the roster. I'm hoping he's going to say he's going to still be a Husker for another year. But, yeah, that's a great point. That's the tie. That's the hook. That's what gets you in the door.
Yeah, I know we haven't heard the good news yet, and I know you've been sitting here waiting.
Come on.
Not so patiently to hear, but I really do have a good feeling about the big three, and it's just a matter of time when they'll say they're coming back. Rink might be a little bit longer, but yeah, just to have, even if Rink wasn't coming back, just to have him say, hey, this is a good spot, it's really big, because it can be really overwhelming when you got all these different messages headed your way. So to have guys that are in it, that have been in the trenches, that can speak about this program. But, you know, I have full trust in Coach Hoiberg and the staff, and they know what they need to be able to build and have a team that's successful. And I know they're really excited about the two freshmen that are coming in. So you still have that young talent that's there. And, yeah, so, but I think they'll be all right. And the good news is hey, we got a lot of opportunities for a lot of minutes at this point.
Sure.
You know, because now you're replacing two starters, right? Two starters?
Well, Casey and Joe.
Yeah, two starters, and then your first two off the bench.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, look, I keep hitting refresh on X. I've done that because I'm waiting for somebody to pop up and say I'm back, but nothing yet. So we'll keep an eye on that, and maybe it'll happen tonight during the show. So we'll keep an eye on that. Final Four is upon us. Both fields are set. Big Ten will be represented at both the men's and women's. The Iowa Hawkeyes are there for the women's, and Purdue made the Final Four on the men's side for the first time since 1980. It surprised me that a school that loves basketball as much as Purdue does hasn't been in the Final Four in 50 years, basically, or 25 years. Or 45 years. So good, congratulations for them. And, you know, I think it's acceptable to a conference route at this point in time if you can stomach doing that with the Iowa women's program. But it at least adds some interest in our areas for those two. The women's Final Four starts Friday night. The men's obviously on Saturday. Monday, women are Friday, Saturday. I like how it's kind of set apart a day. Makes for a great weekend of college basketball.
It's been weird these last couple of days not having basketball.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what are we supposed to watch?
Got so used to it. So that's done. All right, quick note on last night. Disappointing night for the Huskers. Their 10-game winning streak snapped by the Blue Jays. Why does it have to be them? Creighton's good. I mean, they're 21-4. That's a really good team. They're getting votes to be ranked. I'm not in panic mode. I think it's baseball's one game. The guys looked like they were flat for 4 innings, but they fought back. Down 5-0. They got it back to 5-3 and had a shot late in the game.
And they had won 10 in a row.
Yeah.
At some point. Like, it's baseball.
You're going to stumble.
And I understand the frustrations of those midweek games. And, you know, I had talked with Ben back earlier in the season. He had said that this coaching staff that they know is going back to last year. Hey, they are not, I mean, it ends up being important in terms of your RPI and getting into the postseason. And so you have to put more emphasis on it. But it just seems like to me, and I'm not trying to hate or anything, but it just seems like Creighton and Omaha get up a little bit more for these games.
Yeah.
Than Nebraska does.
I think that's true, and that's disappointing because it shouldn't be, because Creighton's had the better of Nebraska on the diamond for the last couple of seasons. But they play 2 more times. They'll be back at Haymarket in a couple of weeks. And again, Creighton's good, 21-4. You can't sneeze at that. Congrats to Rhonda Ravel's team. They wrapped up their non-conference part of their schedule last night, beating Kansas 4-0. They got a huge weekend series with Penn State at Bowling over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So lots of ball to go watch.
Also, I was told, as ran into the coaching staff at the training table yesterday, I don't think it's been out there. It's on the website, but we got to promote it. It is Bark in the Park Day on Saturday.
Yep.
So I'm going to take Sunny out there. Good. Hopefully it's not too windy, but yeah.
Great.
They're giving away dog collars.
Love it.
Yeah, my brother had his Nebraska softball collar on his dog, Daisy, and down in Oklahoma, and it's a little grimy, so he asked me to get one for her. So, but yeah, those dog collars are awesome, but it's always a fun day, and I know the players love it, and a lot of them are dog people, so they love it when they're out there.
One of the great traditions, dog at the park Dog at the Park Day. Love those type of things. One final baseball note, D1 Baseball did come out with their mid-season tournament, and they have the Huskers hosting. So a lot of baseball still to be played, but at least they're on the radar of a lot of those national people as a possible host. All right, 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. We've got some Tony White cuts to get to. We'll do that coming up here in just a moment. Our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back with more of the show coming up next.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975, and now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night. Yesterday, a couple of the defensive coaches, including defensive coordinator Tony White, met with the media after the Huskers' Tuesday practice. Today was an off day. Thought we'd go back and revisit some of the comments from the Husker defensive coordinator. And we'll start with the defensive backfield. Obviously, Quentin Newsom was a four-year starter for the Cornhuskers. Omar Brown, a tremendous career back there. There's some losses to graduation in that program back on that back end. And Tommy Hill is back. And right now I think you would probably list him as a starter on one side. But what about the other side of the field for the Cornhuskers? Here's Tony White talking about that position.
A lot of guys are working in there. I wouldn't say anybody's standing out per se. I mean, you got Bly Hill over there. We're getting Malcolm some reps out there. You got Ethan Nations out there. You got I'm trying to think here of everybody who's taking reps. I mean, we put Mario Buford out there. I mean, we're moving everybody around out there. Again, it's not so much what position they play; it's what they can do. And so whatever the combination of 5 best defensive backs are, then we'll put those guys on the field and figure it out. So we're just figuring out who can walk out there. I mean, you got Jeremiah is out there. I mean, obviously. So it's just who is the most consistent, who can make the plays, who can communicate, and who's going to live up to the standard.
It's impossible to list all those defensive backs.
He probably forgot one or two.
Yeah, I mean, and he probably goes back and listens like, oh, dang, I forgot that. Because how many times does that happen? But that room is loaded. They've got so many guys, despite losing those 2 staples in the secondary, you also got a lot of guys coming back. Those familiar names. I didn't realize, too, and I know Malcolm Hartzog moved around, too, but, you just heard him talking about those guys wherever they fit, and it might not be, they're going to be the corner. So you don't get locked into, okay, here's a cornerback, here's a safety, whatever. It's where do they fit, where do they play the best together? And I think they're going to have a lot of different options, but it's definitely going to be the most competitive, I think, throughout spring and into fall camp. But it kind of a little bit like what we saw with the defensive line, though. I mean, there were several times that I would listen into Evan Cooper, and he would change it up, and which you love because you've been saying that. And they would rotate guys in and out. So either way, they're going to have guys that are going to see a lot of playing time, whether they're the starters or not. I think you're going to, again, see a lot of different defensive backs.
I don't think they'll know the 4 starters back there until maybe a week or 2 before the opening game of the year.
And then it might change.
And then it probably will change. Yeah. So, all right, how about the skill set of some of those guys? He rattled off some names. What kind of players are they? Are they fast? Are they tall? Are they physical? Here he gets into more details on that.
Again, you go back to the staff and Coach Coop putting those guys in different positions. I mean, with Bly, he's a guy who has all the talent there is. I mean, he is all of 6'3", somewhere right in there, 6'3", 6'4". He's got movement skills, doing things, getting used to the way things are being done here. But Coop is done a great job working with him, as well as all the DBs, and really messing around with playing them in the boundary, playing them to the field, sometimes just left and right, moving guys around them, seeing what he can do. That's what the spring is, right? Is seeing what these guys can do, turning them loose, and then saying, okay, you fit best here. So it's not necessarily like a guy is stuck like Bly in a certain spot. We're just trying to see what he can do. I mean, drills, that's cool and all. Indies, guys catching balls, that's cool and all. But they got to line up. They got to line up at 7-on-7. They got to execute. They got to put themselves in a position to make a play, and they got to go make a play. And so that's the thing we're seeing with those guys, those transfer guys, or those guys that need to play ball. Maybe those freshmen that redshirted. We're trying to get them in a position to see, can you do it? Can you make plays? I mean, DeAndre Barnes is in that category. Really good athlete, good football player. Need to see what he can do. Dylan Rogers, a linebacker. There's some talent there, but now it's time, right? It's their time. So let's go play some ball.
I've seen Evan Cooper a couple times. He seems giddy.
Yeah.
He really likes his group, but we've seen a lot being posted about the competition that they're doing, and I think this is where it's really good for those young defensive backs, because they rotate and they match up against the different teams. And so some of those guys that might be on the 3rd and 4th string, quote unquote, might not ever match up against a Jamal Banks in typical how it might have happened in the past. But how they're rotating, they're seeing everybody and they're getting a chance. And so those coaches are right there, what he's saying, we want to see what you can do. Okay, well, all right, young buck, how are you matching up with against a Jamal Banks or, some of those other wide receivers that, how can you handle them? And I think they're getting those opportunities in this competition-like setting.
First scrimmage, by the way, is Saturday. That will be a big telling point as well. He mentioned Dylan Rogers, linebacker. Let's go there next. He was asked about that inside linebacking job. Remember, Luke Reimer has played a ton of football. He's gone. Nick Henrich, ton of football. He's gone. So they've got a lot of reps and snaps to fill coming in with this batch. Here's Tony White talking about the inside backers.
It's a good group. I mean, you have some experience, you got some athleticism. They know what to do. So it's fun. It's fun to watch those guys, especially again when we break up into those teams. Now you're getting them out of their comfort zone, right? You're having an older guy with a guy who does not necessarily know what he's doing. So now he's taking on dual roles. Hey, I have to execute. I got to know what I got to do. I got to make a tight call. I got to know where the back is. But now he's got to turn around and communicate with the guy he's not used to doing it with. So you're putting a little pressure on him, rightfully so, right? They know what's going on. They know how we want to do things around here. So it's important that you get those combinations so that way it gets them out of their comfort zone. It keeps them growing and helps them better understand what they're doing and what the guy next to them is doing. So it's a good group, good competition in there with Mackay. Vincent Shavers is looking good. I mean, Javen has really come on and started to be really physical. Love that. Dylan Rogers, giving him a chance to show what he can do. He's a big, fast, strong guy. Step is in there. I mean, so you got a really good group of guys who I like their attitude. So it's more so just keep on growing every day.
He didn't mention John Bullock there, but I've been told by multiple people that John Bullock's really stepped into that leadership role. But you think about guys like Mackay and Bullock, when they were playing alongside Luke and Nick.
Correct.
So they didn't have to be the communicator. They didn't have to communicate with those guys. I mean, they did, but not in a way. Luke said all the time, and I heard that with a lot of those linebackers, they didn't even really have to communicate. They just knew, and so now this is a different thing that they're taking on and trying to learn how to play alongside those guys. But Dylan Rogers, I've heard his name a couple different times too. I remember talking to him on signing day, and you would talk about a really, really smart kid, which you got to be to play inside linebacker. But he's always looked the part, so I'm anxious to see what he looks like in the scrimmage, hopefully on Saturday. But I've heard a lot of good things about him. But again, another spot that you need some depth. You need to have some guys in there.
Because think about how many times Luke would limp off or Nick would get hurt and come off. And I mean, it's
even
just
John Bullock got hurt. Yeah,
it's a physical. I mean, you're taking on those offensive linemen so many times. They're coming out and smashing you, and they outweigh you by 60 pounds. It's hard.
Remember, I think it was Colorado when you and Searles were in the booth, and you were asking about the starters because here comes Mackay Bayer.
What? Where?
And I was like, it's. Because you were asking me who's starting, and I said, it's Bayer. And then he came along, and he's another guy that really emerged and proved that he could be out there, and then he ended up being a staple in that rotation as well.
Just never know. They sneak those guys in there, and that's what the depth is such a big part of it, as physical as college football has become. All right, this team has a goal. They want to be the #1 defense in the country. What does that look like? Here was the coach was asked about that.
Again, I said this from day one, and I'll say it until the end of the season, is that this group of guys, they haven't done anything. This group together, like, we have not done anything yet. So it's like building a building. It starts with the little things and making sure, again, they know what to do, they know how to do it, and then reinforcing. Not only coach to player, but player to player. Giff, Ty, Makai, Javen, Quez, those guys have played a lot of ball. This is the second year here with us and stuff. They know what's up. So now we're trying to make them take hold of it, take leadership, and then wherever they go on their fields, really bring that to life. So that's the goal. We want to be the #1 defense in the country, but all that is words until guys adopt it and they live it every day.
It's amazing hearing, because we talked to a lot of the defensive players this past week, and they echo that. We haven't done anything, and as much as we want to praise that defense and a lot of the guys that are returning, it's the standards change, it's different, and they realize that. So, I think they have a lot of confidence and something they can build off. They believe it, they see that it works, but they know that just because they did good things last year, it doesn't carry over. They've got to take it day by day, and they've got to get, they are so hungry. You can just see talking to them that, hey, what we did last year, it's not good enough. We don't really even, it's like they don't even really want to talk about it because they're so on to focusing on this group and how they can be better this season.
And Coach Rural has quickly said what was good enough last year made us 5-7.
Yeah.
He goes, we got to be better. If we do the same thing, we'll be 5-7 again. We got to be better. And so that's been the big push for them.
I also love that we've heard Buddha, Javen Wright.
A lot.
And so, another guy that's had a long road and has moved positions, but seems like he's found a spot there. And he made some explosive plays last year.
He sure did. I was just going to say that. Think about the back half of the season. He made a lot of big plays.
Yeah,
a lot of big plays.
Had forced turnovers and it just seemed to be in the right places at all the right times.
Yeah, glad to hear that he's still progressing well. All right. Is it a good defense? What is it? What makes them think they have a good defense? The coach was asked to kind of talk about it. Do you think you're any good on that side of the ball right now?
No. 100%. It's because it's so hard, right? It's so organic with all the different teams and all the different movements. Sometimes I haven't felt that the first unit, the so-called first unit right now together. I haven't heard the communication. I haven't felt them run to the ball. I haven't felt the execution like that, but we're all over the place. So I've seen individual performances. I've seen, in the 9-on-7s, the 7-on-7s, and the 1-on-1s, but that's where the other part of practice comes into play, that when they are together, that we need more from those guys. I need to feel the communication. I need to feel them running to the ball. We as a defensive staff need to see that come to light. You know what I mean? So, again, but that goes back with the expectations on those guys.
Yeah, that's the one thing. There's so many different players and combinations, and you love to have that problem, so much depth, but with that competition, you are breaking them up. So how well is the entire unit? I don't know if they can say that because they haven't seen them together yet.
They have kind of broken this group into 3 teams, and he was asked about, well, how do you get coordination with your 1s and your 2s? And he goes, well, we do have periods where we put them together. So I think that they do come off the 3-team thing every now and then and mix what they believe are their 1s and let them get some reps together, because that's the knock against doing this 3-thing separation is the guys who are going to be playing together and next to each other next fall aren't right now, but I think they are doing that a little bit. And as you mentioned, the scrimmage is coming up Saturday. They definitely will do it there.
Yeah, and Coach Rule said why he believes in this, in the competition, and I saw it. I was at practice yesterday, and you can just feel the energy when it's different. And I go back to what Marquise Buford said the other day, about this time sometimes can be a little taxing because you don't have a game that you're preparing for. So it's how are you finding those ways to compete? And so here's another way to get to do that. And you are getting these opportunities for some of these young players to match up against some of the guys that they might not normally face. But they do have a full, 2.5 hour practice, that it's not the entire time is not this competition. It's just like the last half of the practice. So there's lots of teamwork that's going on. But in terms of just like a full scrimmage, this will be the first one. So I cannot wait to hear how that goes.
Yeah, and again, that's Saturday. Coach Rural will meet with the media after that scrimmage on Saturday. And you know, I think my takeaways from Coach White, he's not hearing the communication yet, but part of that may be the way they've kind of have them separated. But that's the key, because the guys who were the communicators last year are gone, so they got to fill those roles, and that may not be easy to do, and that may take some time. But I think he loves the depth at some spots. We didn't even get into the depth on the defensive line. We know it's there in spades. They've got tons of guys up front that they can rotate through up there. I think he really likes it. It's not where maybe he wants it to be yet, but he likes where it's headed.
You know, and think about if you're splitting them up and you've got all these young guys that are just trying to figure out how to play college football at this point and what they're doing. It's kind of hard to communicate and, I guess, do what you're supposed to do and be in the right spots and you know, be where you're supposed to be in certain plays, and then, oh, by the way, you're supposed to be talking the whole time. That sometimes it takes a while to develop for those young players.
No doubt. Hey, Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks, pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. All right, 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program. Phone lines, text lines are open for you. We're back with more next.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Don't miss out on limited-time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. We have a text wanting to know when the next Kicking Back with the Cooks is. I think they're going to record next week. Remember, John was traveling with the beach season, and they were in California and Hawaii, but they're back now and settling back into the indoor game. So I think the plan is sometime next week. So look for another episode of that next week. Also, Art in Los Angeles said, Greg, I would think with such a successful basketball season, the players would stay. Why do you think there are so many in the portal? I'm very concerned. Please say something that would make me feel better about the situation. Art, I get it. I think it's just kind of, particularly on the men's side, way more than the women's side. It's just kind of that culture right now. These guys hop and jump and move, and they have handlers who give them bad advice so many times. I'm frustrated too, and I know the coaching staff's not real happy with some of the decisions that have been made.
Yeah, I guess big picture, again, perspective is how many of these players, I know you want to have the bench players and you got to have a full bench and you got to have the scout team and you want to develop, but how many of the, 6 that have transferred were impact or going to be impact players? Only
maybe Jamarcus.
2.5. CJ and Matar, and which he played some minutes. It wasn't like every game.
Right.
Now I know that they were excited about his potential and working with him and growing into what he could be. But I really think, to me, the only one that I think, in my opinion, to me, is a real big gut punch is Jamarcus. Because I think it's just inevitable with the way the sport is. You're going to lose a lot of those players that don't play as much. They're going to go find other opportunities to play that when the writing's on the wall. So I guess for me, that was the only one that really was shocking to me. And I think maybe for Jamarcus, I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I don't know if there's any articles out. I haven't seen a list on who's interested in him yet.
I haven't either.
But I don't know if he's maybe saw that what they did towards the end of the season where they went to that big lineup, and maybe that's what they'll continue to be. And if Aaron Eulis is coming back and he's going to be the starting point guard, and then you got the big three, and who knows, maybe he thinks that his role would just be coming off the bench, and maybe he wants more than that. That's, again, when I'm working through what his thought process might be, is maybe he thinks he's going to be an off the bench kind of guy, and he wants to find a spot where he might be the guy. And that would be maybe the only thing that I could come up with. The other guys are just maybe looking for more opportunities.
Right. And you want to play. You don't want to go through your 4 years and not play. So maybe you need to drop down a league level or even a division level to make sure you play more. Sue the other night texted in, and I answered her on text, but I think it's worthwhile bringing up. She said, if they go in the portal, can they still come back? The answer is yes, but Nebraska is not obligated to take them back. So, I mean, Jamarcus, I think if Jamarcus called Fred Hoiberg in a couple days and go, yeah, I was overreacted, I do want to still be a part of it, I think they would keep Jamarcus. That happened with Jamari Butler last year in football. He went in the portal, 2 days later, came back. I think that can happen, but it's got to be a two-way street. Which it also was a coaching change and a little bit different maybe situation than Jamarcus. But yes,
I don't know, they'd have to probably talk through some things. What made you not believe in it? I don't know. To me, if you've been there, you've established, you've invested in somebody, and then you enter the portal, it would probably take some conversations to feel secure in them coming back. And for their teammates, too.
Sure.
Not even just the coaches, but for teammates, like, what the heck?
Yeah. Sam in Omaha, where has John Baylor been in hibernation? Well, I think he's calling those Omaha Supernova games. I think he's been doing some of that, but he's busy with his other job this time of year. We don't see JB much in the offseason. He disappears.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that bike come up the trail again. And
I know. I guess we'll hear from him coming up in about a month?
he will be calling that
spring match?
We'll get him on before that match.
Yeah.
We'll reach out and get him on. John in Omaha says, I feel with Coach White in charge like having General Patton in charge of the troops. I love that. Yeah, you're talking a huge, and I think Jessica's as well, big Tony White. We should appreciate him as much as we can, because he's going to be head coach soon.
We're Tony White stans. We're like the president and co-president of the Tony White fan club. And Damon's like his
he's got a
fanboy.
man crush on him.
So, we are big fans of Tony White around here, but he is. That's why we both have said from the start he's going to be an unbelievable head coach, just seeing how he manages his defense. There's a lot of moving parts. He lets the defensive staff do their thing. He's very creative in how he gets the best out of the guys, but also putting them in the right situations. He's gonna have a lot of fun athletes and different looks that he's going to be able to tinker with this group with so many different players, and boy, that talent is just growing. And that's what you want, right? I mean, you got to keep building, and you got to build that depth. And here it is, and he's going to have a lot of different options.
Good point there, John. And this Netter text coming in. If I was Coach Hoiberg, the players that leave, I would keep track of that and see if they upgrade with their move. They do. I think they do track that. It's growing every year with guys that go, and very few do upgrade their position moving forward. But yeah, I think they do kind of quietly keep track of that.
Yeah, I mean, but what's an upgrade? I mean,
Power 6 school equivalent to that.
To me, and it could just be maybe a lateral move, but
right.
But for a lot of these players, they might be trying to get playing time that they might not have at a Power 6 school, so they might be going down to like maybe a mid-major or something like that. Like
Wilhelm last year ended up at Washington, so that's a lateral move. That's fine. He started some games for the Huskies. Who else did we lose last year? I can't even remember now.
I know.
They come and go so fast. Speaking of that, Cole is waving his arms. I see you. We need to take a break. Hey, Sarpy County, what great food, drink, shopping, concerts, and fun await you. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. Keep those texts flying in, 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Don't let environmental stressors chip away your crop yield this season. Invest in Central Valley Ag's Elite PHP 92 and take control of your farm's future. CVA Elite PHP 92 is designed to reduce plant stress and increase yields. For a limited time, register for a free personalized quote for your operation at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night. The text line has been popping, and you got a text. Well, you and I both got a text during the break.
Yeah, so the John Baylor just had someone asking about him. And he texts us, just checking in while hibernating. May 4th versus Denver and Kearney. I'll be back.
Love it.
Big hugs and see you both soon.
May the 4th be with him. Bob in Lincoln, Jamarcus would more than likely have been the shooting guard to take Casey's place. You buying that?
I mean, maybe. I don't know if he's not as much of a shooter, I guess. I mean, we saw him knock down some big threes, but I wouldn't at this point say he's your elite shooter, right? I mean, and he's really good off the bounce and certainly can be that two guard, but I think you probably need, I don't know if he's has been as consistent of a shooter. Now, maybe he developed that. Maybe that was something that he worked on and it's something that but I don't know if I would consider him the knockdown shooter. I don't know.
I agree.
I mean, it's not like he's your shooting guard. I mean, he is your two guard, your shooting guard, quote unquote, but I don't know if he's a good enough three-point shooter to fill that Casey role. I think you need an elite
higher
shooter.
Yeah.
That's what makes that offense so good, and that's why it was so good the last couple of years, seeing Derek and Casey play off of each other, and then Rink and Casey. You need that shooter that is just a knockdown shooter at a very, very high rate.
Folks, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. So good to hear from John Bader. I feel honored he was listening to our show, Jess. I mean, that makes my day.
I know.
Right there. He listens, I think, to support Cole. He and Cole have this really tight bond. It's kind of father-son-like.
Oh, man. I wonder how his golf game is.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gotten that much. Today would not have been a good day to play. It's so windy today.
Yeah, it's the last couple of days has been windy.
Yeah, it's just that's what we get springtime around here, all these winds.
Maybe we could get JB on for the dig. I need to do a dig episode.
Are you up for what about Sideline Slice with Searles? We got to get some of those going.
Hey, the big dog was down and out for a little while with his shoulder surgery, but hopefully
Is he back?
We're in the works of getting something with him.
Very good. All right. Well, so all that to look forward to. And again, somebody asked about the kicking back with the Cooks. It's tentatively on the calendar for a record next week. So once it plays, once it drops, we'll be able to get that out for you as well. We'll continue our football theme next hour. Nash Hutmaker, Jess caught up with him yesterday off the wrestling mat, back on the football field, back with his football teammates. We'll hear from him. We'll hear from Malcolm Hartzog, and we'll preview the Husker women's gymnastics team. They are headed to the regionals tomorrow. They were Jessica's Wednesday's women's podcast. We'll hear from a couple of them coming up in hour number 2. What else? Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. What a fun, fast first hour. Don't go away. Hour 2 coming up on the other side. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Not much can be counted on these days, especially getting timely rains. However, having a TNL irrigation system gives you water on demand. This is an insurance policy you pay for once and cash in time and time again. Perfect for all irrigators, TNL irrigation systems don't require complicated, expensive, and dangerous high-voltage electricity. They're driven continuously forward by hydrostatic drives. Take some uncertainty out of farming with an intuitive hydrostatic-powered TNL system. Visit TLIRR.com to learn more. TNL, like no other.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Good evening, I'm Duke Root, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Nebraska defensive coordinator Tony White met with the media yesterday after practice. White is in his second season as the head of the Black Shirts and was asked how much improvement his squad has had since last year.
I asked the defensive staff, I was like, man, are we any good? Like, I don't know right now, if we're any good. And they're like, Coach, we're doing stuff now that we were doing at the end of the season last year. So it's not even close in that regards. But Coach Rule said it best, it's not necessarily what you do, it's how you do it. So how are we running to the ball? How are we taking on blocks? How are we tackling? Those are the things that necessarily now, instead of teaching it, you're just holding the standard right there, and showing them every day. And so I think it's turned away from the X's and O's part of it, even though we're installing still in the plays, but it's now more so of how we do things and making sure every single guy that takes that field and lines up and understands that there is a way we are going to play defensive football here, period.
5 members of the Nebraska volleyball team have been selected to the U.S. U21 women's national team. Lainey Choboy, Andy Jackson, Olivia Mock, Harper Murray, and Bergen Riley were among the 20 players named to the team. Nebraska assistant coach Jalen Reyes is also an assistant coach for the team as well. In the NFL today, the Houston Texans acquired star receiver Stephon Diggs from the Buffalo Bills in exchange for a second-round pick. Diggs caps off a stellar offseason for the Texans as they look to build around second-year quarterback C.J. Stroud. 9 games in the NBA tonight, including Thunder at Celtics, Grizzlies versus the Bucks, Pelicans hosting the Magic, and the Cavs against the Suns. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium. It's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Lifted to right, and drifting over near the line is Williams, and looking up, and it is gone. Wind blows it right out of here. It's a grand slam for Will Walsh. It's 5-0 Big Red.
With Ravel as Andrews swings and lifts it right field and deep. Riono going back to the wall. It's gone! Home run, Billy Andrews! And that's the new record. She is the all-time home run queen at the University of Nebraska.
Now the 2-2 from Sears. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 will end the 8th inning for Brett Sears, and he has gone 8 innings here on a Saturday afternoon.
The pitch from Chambers. Cope golfs one to center and deep. Going back Delgadillo, and it's gone! 3-run home run, Emerson Cope. Make it 5-2 Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
I'm still just flattered that John Bader texted us last hour during the program. That made my day right there. JB.
I know. Miss that guy.
See, we don't. Literally, I think it was December. Well, we had a little holiday gathering in January. He was at that, so I saw him there. But, yeah, once he kind of wraps up the volleyball season, it's disappearing time. Cole, when's the last time you saw JB? It's been 5 months? Because we're April now. Long time. Long time.
Got to get him back on soon.
Well, yeah, we'll have him on before that May 4th match with Denver, which, again, sold out in 46 minutes last time. I'm tickled.
I saw some pictures of people that had set up their lawn chairs and it's still dark, just trying to wait in line to get tickets.
Isn't that crazy?
Mean, it's just
I love that.
incredible.
I love that Coach takes that thing out every spring and goes to different little communities. I think it's fantastic to do
it's
that.
a cool tradition, and it means a lot to people across the state, and I know it means a lot to the players. The players really enjoy it.
Do they like going out?
Yeah, they love it. I remember last year, who was it that I was talking to that just talked about honestly, I think it was in the summer when I was doing the newcomer series, and I talked to a couple of the freshmen that said it was little butterflies, but it was a good previewing of what Devaney was going to be like, because it's a smaller, but it was packed and but really fun atmosphere, and they love doing that.
Last year it was kind of a community center. I think it held 2,500. This one seats 5, so it's a little bit closer to the Devaney size level, but nothing prepares them for what they'll get in August when they play at Devaney.
Oh, yeah.
You and I bumped into Kennedy Orr today, and I got a tattle on her. She's wearing shorts. It's not shorts weather. You're going to catch a cold.
It's April.
Father Greg here saying, come on.
It's April.
Put some sweats on.
She might have just been coming from practice real quick, running to the training table.
That's where I love being down there and seeing all the athletes. It's
Yeah.
so cool seeing all those people come through there. Well, one player who has now been on multiple teams is Nash Hutmaker. He's off the wrestling mat and now back on the football field with his football teammates. And I think he's quickly become one of the more popular Huskers on campus. And I think people love the fact that he took the risk and got back in the wrestling ring, and he lost all that weight to be competitive. I mean, that's not easy to do. You better be all in to go do it. And then he goes and wins matches and gets himself to the national tournament. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it just is so cool, too, to see how they work together, Coach Rule and Coach Manning. And then I just kept hearing about how well Nash handled everything and how well he was liked in the wrestling room. But he still didn't miss anything with football. But yeah, he looks different. That's, if you haven't seen Nash in a while and then you see him, you're like, oh, wow, he looks skinny. But I think that's, they're going to play with, now that he's lost it, they'll be able to play and see what's best for him, because he can easily put it back on. It's just a matter of what is the best weight for him to play at.
I think you talked to Ridge Lovett like the week that Nash, I think, started showing up for practices.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really sure who. He was like, oh, this big guy showed up. He's pretty good or whatever.
He's like, we got a football player on our team now.
He's pretty good.
And he was like saying that because Nash was still getting in shape and figuring things out, but he said that they were saying for like 5 seconds, boy, or 10, the first like few seconds, he is just hard to beat. He's just strong as an ox, but then once he got in shape, then you started to see how good he really was on the wrestling mat. It's just a different kind of in shape, and that's why you're going to hear him talk about how good he feels. And Terrence Knighton was saying he's just unbelievable, in unbelievable shape. It's just you're in such good condition when you're wrestling, and you have to stay in that peak, because look how, if it goes for three periods or extra periods, that's a lot.
It is.
So you got to be in great conditioning. So I know that carried over into him being on the football field now.
If you don't think 7 minutes is long, go try to wrestle for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll wear you down. Nash, Jessica caught up with him yesterday after the Husker football practice.
Here with Nash Hutmaker. Well, how do you feel out there, getting back out there on the football field?
It feels great to get back out there with the football team, just out there competing, helping coach guys, doing whatever I can to just get back into it and just keep getting better.
I know you've been talked about this a lot. It's been a big storyline, but with the weight, with the wrestling, how have you felt back out on the football field after going through what you went through on the wrestling mat this past spring?
I felt great. Coming out of wrestling, I'm in really great shape, and so just kind of jumping right back into it. It's been going really good and really smooth so far.
Have you felt different?
Yeah, obviously a little lighter, feeling a little more athletic out there. So it's been a lot of fun.
How was it participating and being a part of that wrestling group this past couple months?
Oh, it was crazy. It was so much fun. I mean, those guys over there are phenomenal guys. I mean, the team culture they have over there is incredible, and so it was just really awesome to get to know all those guys.
A lot of people can say they did what you just did. How special is it that you had two different sports, you're representing two different sports wearing the N?
Yeah, it meant the world to me. It meant the world to my family to be able to go out there and just represent South Dakota, represent my family. It was so fun.
It was really cool to see how your football teammates really supported you, and boy, they were up there, they were rowdy in the stands. What did that mean to you, to see how much they were supporting you and everything that you did?
Oh, it was so awesome. After duels, having the entire bunch of guys on the defense and bunches of guys on the team coming down and congratulating me after a win, it was really special.
And then for getting back out on the football field with Ty Robinson coming back, you guys got a lot of guys that played a lot of ball together. How's that been, getting back out into this spring now that you have so much experience with each other?
Yeah, it's been great. We're just building off what we've already done and just continuing to get better, bringing the young guys along with us. It's been going really good.
How important is the building of the depth here, starting here this spring? We saw how big that was for you guys last fall, but just getting guys ready to go here in the spring.
Oh, it's huge. Being able to have a good rotation of guys, especially on the defense side of the ball, it's everything. Being able to have your second, third string guys go out there and not have any drop off, it makes the games a lot more fun and makes them. It just makes playing really good defense a lot easier.
How has what you guys established last year as a D-line transitioned into year number 2 with Terrence Knighton, and just again what you guys want to establish with this defense?
This year we're just looking, like I said, to build off what we did last year. Just keep raising the standard, keep raising the commitment to the team. It's going to be really fun.
For you personally, what are you looking to work on here in this spring?
Looking just keep building off what I did last year, keep developing myself as like a 3 technique, not just a big nose guard. Just keep developing those different skills.
I talked to a couple people on both wrestling and football that said you just handled everything so well over the last couple of weeks or couple months. What went into that for you being able to manage wrestling and football throughout that entire time?
Yeah, no, there was sometimes when it came to be a lot, but I was just every day just figuring out what my schedule is going to be, figuring out where I need to be when, trying to make it to as much stuff as possible. And so after the first couple weeks, I ended up getting my kind of routine down, and it went a lot smoother.
All right, how was Nationals? I mean, it's one of the most epic college sporting events. How was it?
Oh, it was awesome. I grew up watching that tournament on TV, and so being able to go and watch and also be competing in that tournament, I mean, it was super surreal for me. It's like I said, I grew up watching that tournament, dreamed of being in that tournament, and so to finally be able to make that happen it was such an awesome feeling and moment.
Is there something you could take away from your experience now that you can apply to your football season?
Yeah, just keep, just like how in wrestling, I kept working, getting better every week. It's the same mindset with football. Just keep getting better every week, building off what you did the week before, focusing on the standards and the competition, not so much the results.
Appreciate your time, man.
Absolutely, thank you.
It's cool to get the perspective of it because we hadn't had a chance to talk to him, but I heard Terrence Knighton when he had his press conference the other day that they were, as a coaching staff, were trying to tell them, hey, let's slow down a little bit. You don't have to go all into it. We know what you can do. You had a long wrestling season. He had just come off of Nationals, came right to the football field, right to practice, but he's ready to go. He was sneaking in there trying to get some reps, but they were trying to hold him back, but I don't think he's allowing
You want to tell him not to go out there? I wouldn't want to tell him to not go out there.
Terrence Knighton could.
Yeah, Pot Roast has been great. I mean, he was so supportive of Nash. He went to some of those duels at the Devaney Center and was one of his bigger cheerleaders. I loved how the 2 coaching staffs, Mark Mannings and Matt Rules, worked this out to make this happen. This is different than just having a guy running a track meet, right? I mean, this is putting your body on the line. You could get hurt in wrestling. I mean, this was a bit of a risk, but I'm glad they did it, and I think Nash is better for it.
You know, I think that a lot of that coaching staff, they're wrestling fans.
Yeah.
They like watching the sport. They followed the sport, even going back to last year when they were first here. But, yeah, boy, you see any of the videos of Terrence Knighton up there in the stands, and he is just fired up as all get out. And they all showed up to support him at home when they had the home duels. It's really neat. It was awesome to see. And that's that defensive line room. And I know it sounds cliche, and we talk about it a lot, but it is true. I mean, it is absolutely genuine. That is a tight-knit group. They do everything together, a lot like what we hear for the offensive line.
Right.
But that D-line room, they're so supportive, and they're very, very close-knit, and a lot of that is a nod to Terrence Knighton. And think about what we were talking about, this defensive line last spring. 365 days.
The biggest worry.
We were like, what are we going to do with the defensive line? Yeah. And then how he's able to develop. And I say now we're sitting here talking about the depth, but then what other new pieces is he going to be able to add? Because it seemed like every week there was somebody new that was contributing on that defensive line. So it's going to be fun now. It's like now it's arguably the strength.
Could be.
Would you say?
Terrence mentioned 2 more names the other day, Vincent Carroll Jackson and Sua Lafotu, who he goes, they're on the come. And they were freshmen last year. They redshirted, and they didn't see the field. And yet, then you've got Roddy Van Poppel, and you've got Cam Lenhardo. I know you talked to him as well. You've got Princewell. It just kind of goes on and on and on.
The sack man.
A sack man. You throw him in. Ty Robinson, Nash. I mean, the depth they have developed in 16 months being here as a coaching staff is impressive. It is.
So what would you say right now is the strength?
I think it's probably the strength of the defense would be the front.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? Of the defense. I think the linebackers have some question marks with Luke and Nick gone and no more Q and Omar in the back end. I think they can be really good. I think they will get to be really good. But I think right now, sitting here right now on April 2nd, the defensive line.
I think I'd probably see the defensive line as right now the strength of the entire football team, not just the defense.
Yep, I agree. because I really wouldn't put anybody in the offensive side. I love the tight end room. I think there's a lot of depth there. But, yeah, overall, D-line.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, Woodhouse Auto Family. They are your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back to talk some Husker gymnastics. We'll do that next.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975. And now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro Soccer match at Warner Park. Visit Fontanelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and just dropped the latest episode of Husker Women's Wednesday. And for this week's episode, I got a chance to sit down with Martina Comine and Clara Colombo of Nebraska Women's Gymnastics as they head to the NCAA championships that start tomorrow. You guys have, as a team, put together some really good performances here towards the end of the season. What is starting to click? What's going into the high scores and what you guys are starting to put together here at the end of the season, Martina?
I think we're getting more confident. Obviously, there is like some events where we just, can perform, I wouldn't say better, but we're just more confident in our abilities. And I feel like floor especially has been like a constant in our whole season and has been just amazing being able to compete without, worrying about, not even making mistakes. We're just enjoying it, especially towards the end of season, like even this past week in the Big Tens, we're loving it. Like you can tell finishing on floor was just, so much fun, and we are all super confident into each other's abilities. And other events are just, a little harder. There is always like something you have to work on a little bit more, but I've seen a huge growth for in this team, and I'm excited to see what kind of motivation we're gonna bring to the floor, because it's more like a nothing to lose, like we can only do better than that. And also I feel like it comes down to how much we believe in ourselves, because the skills are there.
Sure,
yeah, I was gonna say, it seems like this is just even a more confident group. Like you guys have a lot more belief this season than what I've seen.
We definitely have a lot of talent. And I think it's clicking. It's clicking, the fact that we have what it takes to be up there like all the other teams. And it's the hardest click to have for sure. But I think it's happening, and I'm really excited for how this season is going to end, but also to watch the team next year. Now that we're building up and up from the past year, it's been a really, really good process of growth, like Martina said. But I'm really excited for regionals. I feel like we're going in way more confident, knowing that we belong there, and we work just as hard as all the other teams to be there. So with that confidence, yes, or more, we did really work out bad stuff out. I don't know, sorry. Yeah, we worked really hard for it. So I really hope we can just go out there and enjoy and do it for each other and for all the work that we put in preseason.
Martina, you've put together some career highs on multiple events this season. What's gone into your season this year, and you're kind of letting it all out there? Is it kind of knowing that this is it and leaving it all out on the floor?
Yeah.
And I know you're fully healthy too.
Yeah, I do believe it's more like this is my last shot. It's more like revenge for not having had the opportunity in my first couple of years. Last year was my first season competing both events without injuries. So it was almost like I was a freshman last year. So this year I started from where I left last year, and I'm loving it. I just wish I had more time, to do what I'm doing right now, just because I'm getting more confident about my gymnastics. And yeah, I'm aware that I don't have, that many opportunities left. And so I'm just leaving it all on the floor. Want to leave on a good note. So it doesn't matter the result. I don't think I was aiming to score, higher than, but I'm having fun, and just being with the team is amazing. So
Clara, you heard her mention the floor lineup. What's been your perspective of what that floor lineup's been able to do, really from start to finish?
Honestly, floor is party time. Like, being like from the outside, like point of view, I love like seeing floor competing. I love seeing my teammates like being so good at what they do. Just having fun and enjoying with us, enjoying with the public, with the parents whenever we compete. Whenever we go on floor, there's not a worry in my mind that they're gonna kill it. And it's been honestly amazing. It's my favorite rotation. It's not even my event, but I love it. And the best thing is that they're having fun doing it and we have fun with them. So it's really great.
You've been a staple in the bars lineup, and we always talk about your eagle grip and how you do some unique skills that nobody else does. How did the bars become, something that you are really good in that this team has to rely on you for?
I feel like consistency has been really key in my development as a bar worker, especially here in Nebraska. As a freshman, you come in, you do your skills, and then you start putting together routines. But being consistent is probably like the main factor. Brian, our coach on bars, he has like this quote that says "be boring" on our board, and I think that pretty much summarizes everything. Like, you have to come in and do your job every day, nothing more, nothing less. That's all it takes to be a good contributor for the bar lineup, and I think everybody's been doing really good on that. And I think it shows, especially in the last part of the season, we've been pretty boring, but pretty good, Mm-hmm. We've been doing pretty good. And again, I think bars and floor are our most confident event for sure. Like, we go in, we don't really have to worry about like making the routines. We're just going to go there, do our job. That's all we can do and hope for. Yeah.
I love that. Well, if you haven't noticed, they have accents. You guys come from Italy, and actually Clara was the first ever NCAA collegiate gymnast from Italy to compete in an NCAA competition from Italy. Yeah. So take us through your journey. How did you wind up in Nebraska? Because then Martina followed you. So let's hear you start first.
All right. So we don't have college sports in Italy. I think it was my last year of high school, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. And I was at a point with my gymnastics that I knew I didn't want to be done. So I was like, what should I do? Because college in Italy, it's really hard to combine with like sports at a high level. So I didn't want to stop doing gymnastics, but at the same time I wanted to study. So one of my friends, she used to go in my same high school. She was playing tennis in the U.S. in another college, and I was talking to her randomly one day, and she said, "Oh, you should try do this, come do school in the States and compete in NCAA. I think you would like it." It's like, okay, sure. And I got in touch with the recruiting agency she was working with. It's an Italian agency, and they basically just help us get in touch with coaches all around the States, because we don't have a lot of information about how this works, especially in gymnastics, because again, nobody did it before, so it's not like ask people how to do it. Yeah. So when I got in touch with the recruiting agency, they were like, okay, yes, you're the first gymnast, but the process is about the same. So I started working with them, and they started sending out emails to all the coaches around the States. Heather Brink, she got in touch with me. She came to visit me in Italy, actually, which was crazy to me. And then I had a good feeling with her. The people from the agency were like, I think this is a good fit. Nebraska is a great school. I had no idea, what I was gonna get into. I always say this, but I did pick Nebraska because I like the color red. But and I was like, sure. I looked up, the leotards, oh, they're pretty. That's literally what went through my mind when I made this choice. And it turned out to be the greatest experience of my life. And there's so many stories from people on our team that transferred that had terrible stories at their previous schools. And I'm I got so lucky to end up in a place where people care about you, they support you, they respect you, and they just want your best every day. So that's basically how it happened. I signed the contract, and I think it was end of May, beginning of June, and I was here in August.
Wow. So then how much did her being here play a role in you coming here?
So my journey started with my mom. She one day decided that I didn't even know this was an option. The first time I heard of college gymnastics was when I saw on the TV on the news the girl from UCLA that got a 10, and I was like, oh, that's cool, like nice. I knew about UCLA, but I had no idea what being a student athlete, in the States meant. And my mom offered me to just start, searching and looking. And then I saw after that Clara came here, and then our journeys actually crossed the first time when the agent that followed her was following me too, texted me and was like, Heather Brink from Nebraska is interested in you. And I was like, what? I thought it wasn't good enough, I was talking to D3, D2 schools because I had no idea if my gymnastics level was good enough. And that day was the first day I talked to Clara ever, besides when we're very young kids at a summer camp. But, and so then, I knew Clara was at Nebraska, but when I started the process, I had no idea. If my mom didn't push the whole process and didn't really motivate me to do it, because I kind of didn't believe that was going to be possible, I had an A plan, which was Italian University. So I was already enrolled in that before the agent kind of, put me in contact with Heather, and that was pretty much the same. But yeah, it's just crazy. Wow. Yeah.
So on senior night, you guys are both honored a couple weeks ago, and they played the Italian national anthem. Your families were here, right, too? Just take me back to that moment and describe it, the emotions, how it felt.
I remember we were joking about, we asked, Heather probably a couple years ago, any way we can play, but we knew it was going to be a no, just because obviously the American national anthem is a big deal before every
Already having the flags up.
Yeah, we started putting up
deal.
the flags last year, which was already a lot for us. We're really proud of being Italian, in case you guys didn't get that. But we, again, joked about it, and I remember about a month before senior night, I mentioned it to Brian, our bar coach, and he was like, you don't worry about it. And I was like, wait, we're going to do it? And so they actually told us they were going to do it, but when it happened, I started crying immediately.
It was surreal.
Being there and being with the families too, and we're I wonder how many other people were able to play the Italian national anthem in Nebraska. Probably nobody, honestly. So it was really nice, and also seeing the team so supportive of this, part of our character, which is very important to us.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
For the team and going into the regional at Arkansas, what's the mindset? What do you guys need to do? You were there last year, you got a taste of it, but to maybe advance and take another step here this time around.
Wanna go?
Yeah, sure. Clara mentioned this in the gym the other day, and it's pretty accurate. And I think that last year we thought we didn't belong to, the NCAA tournament. We were really happy and proud to be there, but we were very intimidated by the other teams, and we thought we didn't have a shot. And so we went there, we did our job, but obviously it was just, it ended there, And this year, most of the team already experienced it, so it's not a new thing for the whole team. And we are on a roll of good meets, one after the other. So we are on a, left on a good note the not preseason, but the season. And I don't know. I don't know what we need to do, but I'm just very excited for it.
Yeah.
Just gotta believe in ourselves, honestly.
Yeah.
It just goes down to that.
We built so much confidence during this season that for me, I don't really care how it's gonna go to me, and if we make it to the next round, or if we make it more than that, or if we don't. As long as we go there feeling like we are maximizing what we can do, and we go there and we feel like we belong there, and we are confident in what we do, we have fun in what we do, and we just own it. And we're just okay, we're here, you know what, we're just gonna roll with it, and we're just gonna go out there, doing what we know what to do. That to me would be the best case scenario. And if the result comes with it, then that's even better. If it doesn't, it's fine. And especially because last year we didn't end on a good note at regionals. It wasn't our best meet. So just going out there and doing a better meet than what we did last time would really be a success, I would say. But I want to go out there and just like own it, do it for each other, with each other. That's my goal. And I think the team is pretty on track with that.
Oh, great stuff there. That was a fun conversation. Those two are great. You can listen to that full episode of our Husker Women's Wednesday podcast out now on our podcast platforms and our YouTube channel as well. Husker Women's Wednesday is powered by Emeritus. They're proud to power this podcast and all of Husker women's sports, so you can check out that full conversation right now. Pretty cool that they opened the door for Italian gymnasts to come to the United States and get their degree. And you heard, I mean, well, in that conversation, they talked so much about how much it meant to them to be a Husker, to have this kind of opportunity, and how much they took away from being student athletes here at Nebraska and learning even outside of the gym, being academics and life skills and all the great things that are available for student athletes here. They are certainly appreciative. So check out that full conversation. The women's gymnastics team, they will get set to compete tomorrow at the NCAA championships, 1 o'clock in Fayetteville. You can watch it on ESPN Plus. They will take on Kentucky, number 7 Kentucky, number 12 Arkansas, number 24 Arizona. The top 2 teams from each of the first 2 sessions on Thursday will advance to the NCAA regional championships Saturday at 5 o'clock. But again, check out Husker Women's Gymnastics as the NCAA championships begin for them tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Fayetteville. All right, we got to get to another break here on Sports Nightly. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Malcolm Hartzog as we continue to talk Husker defense. And Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Plungers and store-bought chemicals can only go so far and can harm your drains. Call the professionals at John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical to get your drains flowing. We won't only make sure the clog is taken care of, but we will ensure your drains are completely clean so the clog will not come back. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air,
and Electrical.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska. Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Couple more segments left of this Wednesday night edition of Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody, and we continue talking the Husker defense as we have all show. We heard from Tony White earlier in the program and then Nash Hutmaker. Let's move to the secondary, and Huskers will be replacing a few of those staples in Quentin Newsome and Omar Brown, but that defensive backs room is loaded with talent and lots of young talent at that. And several returners. One of those guys that have played a lot of football in his 2 seasons as a Husker is Malcolm Hartzog. He made 7 starts last year at corner and at safety during his sophomore season, and he went from being one of the young guys in the group to now entering season number 3. He's one of the veterans in a group with a lot of competition. I chatted with him after the Huskers' first day of full pads. All right, first day in pads. How did it feel out there?
It felt good to be back in pads, long off season, getting my weight right, learning the playbook more. It felt good to be back, play with my brothers again on the field.
How was it going through the off season this time around, knowing that you guys knew what was coming and what this coaching staff expects of you?
We went about it really well, like the weight. I felt like I did really good with my weight, and so did the other guys. And we knew what we had to get done, in order to be ready for the spring and going into the summer. We did all the things that they told us to do, and we did it the right way.
After you closed the chapter on last season, how did you kind of evaluate where you were, and what are the things you really need to work on?
Things I need to work on, getting my ball skills right, being more aware of the things around me on the field, making more plays, and being in position to make those plays, and being there for my teammates when they need me.
Describe just like the dynamics, the overall talent, how you guys are meshing in the defensive backs rooms, because there's a lot of you guys and a lot of talent in there.
We have a lot of talent, you know. Everybody getting their chance, you know, splitting reps. Everybody getting to showcase their abilities that they have, and seeing that, you know, is really exciting because we have a lot of talent that we can have, and they can be able to help us on the field when the season comes.
You guys lost a couple of leaders last year, and Quentin Newsome and Omar Brown. You're now a guy that's been around. How are you trying to maybe step into more of a leadership role with some of these younger guys?
You know, just be there for them, like answer their questions, like when they need help, studying with them, the playbook, watching film, you know, being there for them. Because I know, like, when I was here, my freshman year, I needed a little help, and I know that they needed to.
You know, now that you guys like established what you did defensively a year ago, how do you take the next step? What's that like in terms of what this coaching staff is doing to push you guys on the defensive side of the ball here starting this spring?
Some things that we can do, you know, like getting together as a group, like off the field, you know, studying, watching film, you know, getting together, like doing our own separate walkthroughs, like without the coaches, so that we can know like everybody knows what to do, and teaching the younger guys like the role on how to do things.
Has the expectations, has it taken it up a notch there after what you guys did last season?
Yeah, I feel like the expectations went up, you know, because we know the defense that we had, and we want to be better. We want to be the best defense in the country, you know, and it's going to take like a lot, and it's going to take a lot of guys for us to do that.
Okay, not just some young talent in the defensive backs room, but also in the wide receivers. What's that competition been like so far throughout spring, matching up with those wide receivers?
Oh, it's been really good. You know, we had a lot of talent come in at DB and receiver, and D-Bell coming back, you know, he was a big add. He's going to be a big guy for us, and seeing the way that he works and the way that the other receivers work, I feel like this is going to help us get better.
You've been through this spring ball thing now. What goes into, you know, this springtime, so that a team is set up for success moving forward?
Just the leadership, you know, like the guys coming in and leading, you know, helping us get in order. Like Tommy Giff and Keith, like on the defense side in the DB room, I feel like those are the guys that help push us, you know, because they know what they need to do, and they know what they need to do to help us get better and where they want to be.
Appreciate your time, Malcolm.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate Malcolm Hartzog chatting with us. I should have asked him, but you can definitely tell that he's put on some weight. He looks thicker. His arms are definitely bigger than what he was a year ago. There's another guy that singled out and called out Demetrius Bell. We have just been hearing his name over and over again. So it sounds like he's going to be a big piece of this offense moving forward. All right, got to work in our final break here on Sports Nightly. Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Don't miss out on limited-time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowes.com for details.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final few minutes here of this Wednesday night edition of Sports Nightly. So crazy breaking news that have developed over the last 30 minutes or so. Matt Norlander, who's a writer for CBS Sports, has put out that UConn, so the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament headed into the Final Four, does not have a plane to fly to Arizona at the moment. Dan Hurley tells CBS Sports they were supposed to take off at 6 o'clock Eastern, but logistical and mechanical issues with the plane coming in from Kansas City has forced significant delays. So the earliest option would be a smaller plane and leave at 12:45 Eastern, but they're saying that they might not land until nearly 5 a.m. And they, on Final Four day and heading into that Thursday leading into the games on Saturday, there's so much media and hoopla that surround it. They have to probably be right there for tomorrow morning and be ready for only on a couple hours of sleep. But Purdue and Bama got there yesterday. NC State got there this afternoon. So UConn still having issues getting to Arizona in the Final Four destination. So crazy stuff there. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. It was fun talking Husker defense. Coming up tomorrow on tomorrow night's show, we will have all things Husker quarterbacks. That's right. They're going to make the quarterbacks, from what I'm told, available tomorrow. So we will hear from those 3 guys. I'll try to get some interviews with them, and we'll have some press conference clips as well. So we will continue talking spring football, and we'll hear from the QBs. It, was out there yesterday, and just seeing those 3 guys with their different teams that they've been on. It was fun to see a lot of them, all 3 of them, making plays, and they've got a lot of playmakers that they can throw the ball to. Jamal Banks, I saw make quite a few plays out there. So it'll be fun to hear from those guys and how spring ball is going for them. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Again, Nebraska women's gymnastics, so another team in the postseason. They'll get started tomorrow, 1 o'clock in Fayetteville for the NCAA championships. So best of luck to Heather Brink and Husker women's gymnastics. Nebraska men's gymnastics also will start competing for their Big Ten championships. They clinched the regular season title, so they will look to maybe add another trophy as the Huskers pursue multiple Big Ten titles this season. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thanks to Cole and Henry back there. Not Henry. Duke. Thanks to Cole and Duke. And we'll see you tomorrow night here on Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail Taman 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving